Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler on what seems to be kind of a washed out kind of lighting day. I'm not entirely sure why things seem so washed out right now. Maybe it's the time change and how it's affecting the light coming in the window. Damn you, daylight saving time or standard time or whatever we actually are now. To my friends in other parts of the world, hopefully you don't have to deal with this stuff. Spring forward, fall back, fall on your face, pretty much is kind of the way that it works. So, what we're looking at this time is a continuation of something we looked at a little while ago on the show, as the road to episode 500 continues. Now, I say the road to episode 500 continues, but as you already know, this series has a lot of supplemental episodes, Q&A episodes, intermission episodes on oddball topics and things like that. So it turns out that when I actually went in and looked, the last episode that was released, the one about the Spark of Rebellion, Rebels VCD from Indonesia, that actually is the 600th currently available episode of the show. It's actually 606 on my end, but that is because there are 6 different earlier versions of that video timeline that I did that are offline now, so that the current one, which is still really out of date, is the newest one. I'll talk more at some point in the near future on what my plan is for something that is kind of similar to those timelines going forward, but that's a little ways down the way. But suffice to say, technically what you're seeing here is the 601st episode by the way that I see it on my end in YouTube, but the road to actual numbered regular episode 500 is underway with just a couple episodes still to go to get there. So this is regular episode 498, and here we're looking at something we looked at recently in episodes 495 and 496, expanding upon that with yet another pair of releases of the Disney film Coco, which you might think, again, why on earth will we see this on a Star Wars show? Well, it is because on the DVD and Blu-ray film discs, but not the 4K film disc, for Coco, if you drill down into the sneak peeks section, basically, the thing that is supposed to be for trailers and whatnot, rather than having a Star Wars trailer, there's actually a full episode of Star Wars Forces of Destiny, which is, of course, about trailer length, an episode entitled Ewok Escape, where it shows kind of Leia interacting with Wicket and all that kind of stuff during Return of the Jedi. It has the whole, "What are you doing?" line that is kind of infamous, at least for those who listen to my stuff, because I mock it pretty often. But that specific episode of Forces of Destiny is actually on those releases. That means that anytime the Blu-ray or DVD of Coco from 2018 gets reissued, that's technically another copy of Star Wars Forces of Destiny Ewok Escape going out there into the wild. I thought that I had them all as of the time that I recorded the last episodes that looked at this stuff, but there were 2 that came up. I recorded a little side thing, little side comment, and inserted into the second Coco episode, telling you there was more coming. That is what this episode will cover. So we're going to look at 2 other releases of Coco that I did not cover in those 2 episodes, and briefly talk about one that is coming soon that I will not be adding to my collection and why that is the case, particularly in relation to whether it will have Star Wars content on it or if that remains an unknown. So, with all of that preface out of the way, you may recall that in 2018 we saw the initial releases of Coco from Disney and Pixar on home media. And there were a lot of them, right? We looked at a DVD version, a Target exclusive version, we looked at the multi-screen edition, as it's called, the Ultimate Collector's Edition that's neither Ultimate nor a Collector's Edition, and even a Steelbook coming out of Best Buy. So a whole wave of releases, but every single copy on DVD or Blu-ray in this wave of releases included Forces of Destiny Ewok Escape. We then also saw 3 releases from 2023 as part of that product line for Disney 100. We saw a Steelbook version, we saw a version that was from Walmart that included a little pin and had that extra case in order to have a place to put the pin, just kind of tacked onto it there, and then sort of that regular release with the Disney 100 stuff on it. Well, it turns out, and yes, I was just very sly by lifting these up in groups so I didn't have to do a whole bunch of titles in the subtitles, beating my own game here. It turns out there are 2 that I missed in looking at that. One I thought might exist, but I wasn't sure until I then looked it up later and discovered, yes, it actually does exist. And that is an exclusive from Walmart from that initial round of releases in 2018. We will look at that in this episode. But also in between those releases in 2018 and 2023, we also saw a lone release that would sort of set the stage as a reissue for what we would see in 2023. We will look at that one here also. So first, let's look at the copy from 2018 from Walmart. That is this. I'm holding the J card on here because without the J card, it basically looks like normal. I will say when I bought this, someone had put a regular sleeve for the multi-screen edition with a Walmart sticker on it over top of this, including over the J card. I do not believe that's how they actually come. I think someone just got confused because it had Walmart as a sticker on here. I believe this is how it would have looked actually on the shelves. It's just a simple J card with the actual case, no regular slip cover to go with it. So that does make it different from the regular multi-screen edition. So we have Blu-ray DVD digital code multi-screen edition, only at Walmart, collectible pin, and a preview of what the pin will look like. Nothing on the top. The back is essentially the same as what we would see as far as the information, just kind of reorganized a little bit, mostly for moving the Movies Anywhere stuff around here. And the fact that this already has the UPC on it, doesn't need a window to show the UPC underneath, so shifted, but essentially the same stuff here. Description, a masterpiece, UPC, Movies Anywhere stuff. Over 2 hours of bonus features, including your stats, your various legalese and symbols, the rating, the iTunes note, and so on down there. And since this is a J card, there's no side to it on this, and as most American J cards would tend to be. You take this off, and essentially what you have underneath is the standard multi-screen edition in terms of packaging. We don't need to look at that again. We've already looked at it before. Inside, you have a digital copy code slip again. You have the bonus features Blu-ray, which does not have anything Star Wars on it. But then you have your 2 discs that we've seen before, so we're not going to go into them in detail here, which is the Blu-ray film disc and the DVD film disc, both of which, in the sneak peeks, include Star Wars Forces of Destiny Ewok Escape. What makes this unique inside, of course, is the pin, which I would take out of its little wrapper here so you can see it with less reflection. Little card says, Disney Pixar Coco, caution, choking hazard, may contain small parts. Does contain small parts. Not for children under 3 years of age. 2018 copyright product number. Essentially the same thing there on the back. But there's the pin on its card. And of course, like what we would eventually see in 2023, the nifty little thing where what holds on the pin is actually done in a Mickey Mouse ears type of form there. So pretty neat little thing there, and it is the first instance of a pin for Coco there at Walmart, whereas we also saw the same thing in 2023 with a pin, a new pin for Coco at Walmart for the Disney 100. Now, you may recall that in 2023, this was our standard release here for Disney 100 of Coco. It was just a reissue of the Blu-ray and DVD discs that we had seen in 2018 into the packaging with a digital code and all that, but in this special new branded Disney 100 packaging. We saw this previously, and we found that inside it was this package here. This packaging was actually not created specifically for the Disney 100 release. I don't think I said it was. I may have thought it was. I don't even know. Suffice to say, turns out there's a release that set the stage for this that I had not known existed at the time, and that, our last one here, I think, I hope, is this. This is a reissue of Coco from 2019, the year after its initial release, and notice that the slipcover artwork is basically the artwork we would see on the interior case for the releases that weren't steelbooks for Disney 100 in 2023. So you have Blu-ray, DVD, digital code, multi-screen edition, the character there, Disney Pixar Coco, the information about digital codes, Disney Blu-ray, Disney Pixar Coco, character and product number, essentially the same on the other side. The back with that kind of cool blue and white color scheme that I actually like quite a bit compared to the other one that's a little busy. You have your Movies Anywhere stuff, bonus feature list, a masterpiece again, a little hole for the UPC, information, Academy Award winner and for what, some stats here, your various icons and whatnot, legalese, rating, iTunes stuff, Disney, and so on down here. And inside, yes, it is that case that we saw previously. So we don't need to go into detail with it because we have seen this case in that previous episode on the Disney 100 stuff. So basically, this is just this with a new slipcover to replace this. Essentially just the same thing. And of course on the inside, it is again just a code slip. Your discs that we have seen quite a few times before. So, Once again, if you are a Star Wars home video collector and you want to find some oddball stuff that is technically Star Wars stuff, or at least Star Wars with other stuff, then one way to do so would be to pick up releases of Coco. Just remember that there's a lot of them, and I'm not going to run the little subtitles here for each one of these, but suffice to say, as we saw previously, there's a regular DVD release from 2018. There's a multi-screen edition, Blu-ray, DVD digital code from 2018. There's a Walmart exclusive version of the multi-screen edition with a pin, but no slipcover, just a J-card. There's a Target version of that multi-screen edition with the J-card, the fold-out packaging, and the storybook/gallery book inside. There's a Best Buy version of the multi-screen edition that puts it in a steelbook. There's a so-called Ultimate Collector's Edition that swaps out the DVD for the 4K disc and also has that slipcover there. Those are all from 2018. There's this one from 2019 that's a reissue. There's the regular Disney 100 version from 2023. There is the Walmart version of that comes with a pin and has that extra case there. And there is the Best Buy Steelbook version. Remember, Star Wars didn't get any of those other Disney 100 releases. All we got were the Steelbooks for the original trilogy from Best Buy, and that was it. At least so far. And probably total, because if they haven't done anything like that again yet, they probably won't do any other releases for those. So yes, that's 10 more items you can add to your Star Wars home video library if you're not terribly picky about the form that it takes. Because yes, Ewok Escape from Forces of Destiny can be found on all those releases of Coco. Speaking of releases of Coco, there is another one coming up soon, and I'm telling you up front, I'm not going to be picking it up. The reason is because, well, I'm not made of money, quite frankly, here. So Disney is putting out a Legacy collection, the Legacy Animated Film Collection, that includes 100 Disney/Pixar animated films. We're talking going back to like Snow White all the way up until modern stuff. And it's a Blu-ray set that includes all those films, digital copy, there's a little lithograph and whatnot. But the icing on the cake, the thing that probably makes it so expensive, is a set of crystal Mickey Mouse ears. It will have a numbered certificate of authenticity. There is only a limited number of them being available. They're for pre-order on Walmart. They actually, I believe, are releasing next week as of the time that I'm recording this. On November 14th will be when they are released. But the price tag on this set, at least to start with at retail, unless it gets discounted somehow somewhere, is $1,500. I'm not paying $1,500 for a set to get basically Coco, to get another copy of Ewok Escape, and that is if these are the same discs just being reissued again, maybe with new labels. We don't know that for sure. If they have reauthored the discs, it probably won't even have Ewok Escape on it because it was just dumped into the sneak peek. So I'm not taking that chance at this point. I'm hoping that for such an expensive set, surely they're going to do some reauthoring. Like, you would see the reauthoring of, the original 6 Star Wars films in 2020 relative to their Blu-ray releases from 2011 that were even being reissued up through 2019 in the United States. I'm not going to take the risk. I'm hoping that whoever gets the set is getting something truly special and new, and at least maybe matching menus or something. But if they do that, it does mean reauthoring. Probably no Forces of Destiny Ewok Escape. So even if I was a little tempted, which I really wasn't once I saw the price tag, I still would probably be holding off for any type of confirmation of what discs are going to be in there. So if you're looking for another copy of Coco, if you want to take that risk, there is that set, and it's sure to be fantastic for a Disney animation collector. That's just not me. And again, let me just note that it was Parker, a viewer of this series, that pointed me out to the fact that Ewok Escape was on Coco in the first place, leading to these 3 episodes. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.